It's been a good few days now since Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out, and after seeing it twice, I have to say, although I think the first one is better, this film is one of, if not the most emotional MCU movie so far, and it had one of the best MCU villains to date in Namor. Queen Ramonda was a huge standout for me. Angela Bassett deserves some kind of recognition for her performance here. Overall, I enjoyed the film and gave it an 8.5 out of 10. That being said, if you've watched the movie, then you'll clearly see some of the things that Marvel is setting up for the future of the MCU, and that's what we're going to be tackling in today's video. So before we begin, like and subscribe to the video and comment down below on your thoughts on the movie and how do you feel they handled the whole T'Challa situation. For me personally, I feel like they handled it to perfection. Regarding the future of the MCU, Wakanda Forever teases a number of things to come. In the first act, we saw other nations, particularly the USA and France, complaining that Wakanda isn't sharing their vibranium and resources as promised at the end of the original movie, which in return led to a French special ops team infiltrating a Wakandan facility in an attempt to steal as much vibranium as they can get their hands on in a failed attempt. Later in the movie, Everett Ross is speaking to his ex-wife Valentina Allegra, who we've seen briefly pop up in the MCU throughout Phase 4 in both Black Widow and Falcon and the Winter Soldier about vibranium. Val mentions that the president wants to destabilize Wakanda and steal vibranium. Keep this part in mind because I'm going to come back to this part a bit later on in the video. Ross asks the question, what if America had all the world's vibranium, to which Val responded by saying she dreams of exactly that, and it's this small conversation as well as the scene in the UN in Act 1 that gives us insight as to what's going to come in the MCU. A war between Wakanda and the rest of the world is incoming sooner rather than later. Namor himself even predicted this at the end of the movie and claims that when it does happen, Wakanda will come to him and his people for help. It's confirmed that Val will play a major role in the upcoming Thunderbolts movie, and if you're unsure as to what kind of role Val will be playing in the Thunderbolts movie, just think of Amanda Waller with the Suicide Squad. Val is basically the MCU's Amanda Waller. Now, in Wakanda Forever, she kept referring to the president, but never by name. The last president in the MCU was President Ellis, who we saw in Iron Man 3. By the time the Thunderbolts come out, it would have been well over a year in the MCU timeline since then, so it's likely that the MCU now has a new president as much time has passed. But who could it be? Now, hear me out. But what if the new president in the MCU is none other than Thunderbolt Ross, who will be played by Harrison Ford? The reason that the team is called the Thunderbolts in the MCU could be because it could have been sanctioned by President Thunderbolt Ross, and he tasked Val to be the overseer of the group. Remember earlier in the video where I talked about the president wanting to destabilize Wakanda? Well, Thunderbolt Ross is the kind of character who likes control. He's been trying to control the Hulk for years. He was the one leading the charge to control those opposed to the Sokovia Accords, so it's not far-fetched to think that he wants to control the world's supply of vibranium as President of the United States of America. So perhaps the Thunderbolts movie is about the team infiltrating Wakanda either to weaken their forces so that a bigger attack can happen, or just to simply retrieve vibranium altogether themselves. Here's where my train of thought is currently at. The scene in Black Panther Wakanda Forever where the French special ops team is trying to steal vibranium from that Wakandan facility, could that be a tease of what's to come in the form of Doom War? Could this film be teasing a potential Doom War storyline from the comics? And if you don't know what Doom War is, Doom War in Marvel Comics is a 6-issue miniseries, and it's mainly about Victor Von Doom, aka Doctor Doom, and T'Challa, aka the Black Panther, where Doctor Doom takes all of Wakanda's vibranium to carry out his never-ending quest to rule the entire world as he sees fit. So could Doctor Doom perhaps be the big bad for Black Panther 3? That could actually be a possibility. If that is the case, then I'm all for it, because Doctor Doom, he's obviously most notable for being a Fantastic Four villain, but he's much more diverse than that. He can also go off to be a Black Panther villain and even an Avengers villain altogether. So he's not just a Fantastic Four villain. Doctor Doom being the main villain in Black Panther 3 in an adaptation of Doom War is something that I can definitely see happening, where he takes all of their vibranium. What do you guys think? Do you think this is the direction the MCU is heading in following the events of Black Panther Wakanda Forever? Let me know in the comments down below. If you like this video, give this video a big thumbs up, share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys later for more videos.